Someone in your life is controlling you. And you don't even realize it. Not in an obvious way. Not with force. Not with threats. But with subtle psychological patterns that slowly influence how you think, how you feel, and eventually, how you act. The most dangerous part is this. You probably believe every decision you make is completely your own. But what if some of those choices were guided, shaped, or even planted in your mind without you noticing? Think about the last time you agreed to something you didn't fully want. Maybe it was a favor, a decision, or even staying in a situation longer than you should have. At that moment, it probably felt like your choice. But later, something felt off. You questioned yourself. You wondered why you said yes. That feeling isn't random. It's the result of influence. Most people imagine control as something aggressive and obvious, but in reality, the strongest forms of control are quiet. They don't force you. They guide you. One of the most common ways this happens is through something called choice overload. Imagine you're trying to make a simple decision. It could be anything: what to buy, what to eat, or even an important life choice. Suddenly, someone gives you too many options. Not just a few, but so many that your mind starts to feel overwhelmed. At first, it seems helpful. More options should mean more freedom. Right. But your brain doesn't work like that. When you're faced with too many choices, your mental energy starts to drain. You begin to overthink. You doubt yourself. You get tired of analyzing every possibility. And at that exact moment, when your brain is exhausted, something interesting happens. You stop trying to make the best decision, and you start looking for the easiest one. So when someone steps in and says, "Just do this," it's simpler. You accept it. Not because it's the best choice, but because your mind wants relief. This is how subtle control works. It doesn't take away your options. It overloads you until you give them away yourself. And the scary part is, it feels completely natural. Have you ever walked away from a decision and later thought, why did I even choose that? That moment of confusion, that small regret, is often the result of influence you didn't notice in the moment. And once you start paying attention, you'll realize how often this happens in everyday life. Now let's go deeper. There's another psychological pattern that is even more powerful because it doesn't just affect your decisions. It controls your emotions. This is where things start to get more intense.
This is known as hot and cold behavior. You've probably experienced this before. One day, someone gives you attention. They make you feel valued. They listen to you. They respond quickly. They make you feel important. Then suddenly, without warning, they pull away. They become distant. Their energy changes. They reply late or not at all. They act like something is off, but they don't explain it. And your mind reacts instantly. You start asking questions. You replay conversations. You wonder if you did something wrong. You feel the need to fix it. What changed? Why are they acting like this? How do I get things back to how they were? Without realizing it, your focus shifts completely toward them. This isn't random behavior, it's a psychological loop. Your brain is wired to respond strongly to uncertainty. When something is consistent, your brain relaxes. But when something becomes unpredictable, your brain becomes alert. It starts searching for answers. It becomes emotionally invested. This is the same mechanism used in things like gambling. You don't know when the reward is coming, so you keep trying. In relationships or interactions, this creates emotional dependence. You begin to chase the feeling they once gave you. And that's where the control happens. They don't tell you what to do. They don't force you into anything, but they control your emotional state, and that influences your behavior. Your mood starts depending on them. Your thoughts revolve around them. Your actions become reactions to their behavior. Now there's one more method that is even more subtle and often more powerful than the others. Guilt. Not obvious guilt, but quiet, indirect guilt. This doesn't come from someone attacking you or blaming you directly. It comes from small statements that make you question yourself. Statements like, "I didn't expect this from you," or "I guess I just care more than you do," or "After everything I've done." These sentences don't accuse you directly, but they make you feel responsible. And once that feeling appears, everything changes. You stop thinking logically. You start thinking emotionally. You begin to feel like you owe something. You feel like you need to fix the situation, even if you didn't do anything wrong. This is where control becomes extremely effective, because now your actions are based on emotion, not logic. You might apologize when you didn't need to. You might agree to things you're not comfortable with. You might stay in situations that don't feel right. All because of a feeling that was placed there. And the truth is, none of these methods look like control. They look like normal behavior. They look like conversations, interactions, emotions. That's why most people never notice them. But once you start recognizing these patterns, something changes. You begin to slow down your reactions. You start questioning why you feel a certain way. You start seeing the difference between a genuine emotion and a triggered one. And that awareness is powerful, because the moment you become aware of influence, it loses its power over you. You don't react instantly anymore. You don't get pulled into emotional loops as easily. You start choosing more consciously, and that's the difference between being controlled and being aware. At the end of the day, control isn't about dominance. It's about influence. And the strongest people are not the ones who control others. They are the ones who understand these patterns and refuse to be controlled by them.